Rocky the Fishman. How long have you been married? 1 year and 4 months. I'm counting on my fingers there. I told you I can't do mental arithmetic. I always say 1, 2, 3, 4. No, can't do it. I have to count on my fingers. What is the most you've spent on a game or gig-related item? Well, the most I've spent on a gig-related item would be about the £300 I spent on my Jupiter Ace. But a game, I've never spent anything astronomical on a game. I mean, I would love to get Radiant Silvergun for the Saturn, I really would. And one day I will, despite that it sells for like 70 to 100 and something stupid pounds. One day, when I have the money, I will buy that, but for the time being, no, I've never paid big money just for a game. The most expensive, or what I think was unrealistic price I paid for a game was £22 for Spider-Man on the Mega Drive. Maximum Carnage, yeah, I paid 22 quid for that, and it was like the red cartridge thing, just because that I hadn't heard of the game before, and I really love Spider-Man, and I love the Maximum Carnage saga, and there were several different people on eBay with that game, and they were all selling it stupidly expensive, and people were bidding that high, so I figured, well, if everyone's bidding that for this, that must be the going rate. I now think it must have just been a silly season or something, because it's not that great, it's not that rare, and I think £22 was a silly price for it. Oh, I've missed one. What is my favourite UK games programme? Are there any? I don't watch games TV programmes anymore. I wasn't aware that there were any. The last one I watched that I liked, we're going back a long way, it was Games Master, when Dominic Diamond was still doing it, when he was wearing the long smoking jacket thing. That first series I thought was fantastic. Then they changed the format. They changed the set, he changed what he wore, and he went from looking really, really cool to looking like a twat. And then I stopped watching. But that very first season of Games Master I thought was fantastic. If I could have a meal with anyone living or dead, who would it be and why? Oh my God. Adolf Hitler in 1933, and I would put cyanide in his meal. Am I allowed to do that? That's what I would do, yeah. I don't know. I mean, celebrities, I don't really do the whole celebrity worship thing at all. I sometimes think I'd like to sit down with David Bowie and have a conversation, but then if I did, I don't know what I'd say to him. I really don't. I don't go gaga over celebrities. I see a lot of these celebrities on TV and I think, why the hell are you famous? Who are you? What are you? What do you do? And they don't seem to do anything. I can understand how some people can get famous just for sitting in front of a camera and talking, because it's hard to do well. You know, it's a damn difficult thing. So there are celebrities and you think, why are they famous? All they do is sit there and talk shite. But it's not an easy thing to do. But there are some people I just think, what the hell are you? Famous for being famous. So I don't go gaga over celebrities. But I wouldn't know what to say to any of them anyway. But I do think, yes, have lunch with Hitler and put cyanide in his meal. That would be worth doing. DemonmachinE with a capital E. I always think that says DemonmachinE, but it doesn't, does it? It's just me reading it wrong, because I'm stupid like that. So I'm reading your preamble before the questions, because I think there is something I want. It's awesome the way you take the time to respond to comments the way you do. Do you know what? I actually worry about if my channel gets so popular that I get so many comments that I don't have the time to reply to them all. It's like, yeah, I want to get really, really, really popular and have thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of viewers. I would love that, but I would be gutted if I didn't have the time to reply to all the comments, because I love that interaction. That's a big, big, big part of what makes it so fun. And I don't reply to everyone's comment, and I always feel bad about that. Sometimes I'll see a comment and I don't know how to answer it, and I will think I'll answer that one later, and then I forget or just can't think of a useful or meaningful reply, and I don't answer, and I feel bad. Because I think of that person at the other end sitting there thinking, you didn't answer me, ignorant bastard. You're right, I'm an ignorant bastard sometimes. Same as sometimes people will write comments that annoy me for whatever reason, and I'll shoot them down and block them. I did that to someone recently. I think that was probably maybe quite unreasonable of me, but I can be an unreasonable bastard as well. I can kind of fly off the handle and just block people out of hand. I'm a bad man. What genre of games did the transition from 2D to 3D technology affect the most and least? My God, you're asking me hard questions. Shooters. Yes. Because shooting games on 2D, you went from sideways scrolling, bit of platforming, bit of run and gunning kind of stuff that I don't like those. I find them very boring. And you went to first-person shoot-'em-ups, and that is the thing. You went from the 2D scrolling to first-person for your running and gunning and stuff, and that was a huge big leap. Which did affect the least? You see, I read this earlier and I knew the answer, and now I've forgotten what it is. Beat-'em-ups. Yes, it affected beat-'em-ups the least. You think Street Fighter 2 versus Tekken 6 or Street Fighter 4, gameplay is the same largely, so they might look prettier, but in terms of gameplay, nah, not much of a difference. Was that jump in technology the largest shift the game industry has ever taken? If not, what is? If so, why? I think it is the largest jump, yes. I mean, there have been a few. The shift from Pong into other type games was significant, but no, I think the jump from 2D to 3D is the biggest shift the gaming industry has had to deal with. And it was fairly gradual. It wasn't as instant as you might think, because it started, well, I mean, 3D started out on the 8-bit machines with Elite, and then they tried to do Star Wars, and some they worked and some it didn't. So I mean, even way back then it was starting to happen, and then with the 16-bit machines it wasn't so successful on the Mega Drive. You had hard driving, and there were maybe some others, I can't think of any others. But on the Amiga, 3D was really kicking off for quite a long while. So it did actually come in gradually, but you would have only noticed it if you had quite a lot of systems. If you just had a Mega Drive for donkey's years and then all of a sudden there's the PS1, it would have seemed incredible and dramatic and overnight, but it really wasn't that way. But yes, I do think it is the biggest shift that the gaming industry has ever had. Do I think we will ever see another shift as big? Yes, but possibly not in our lifetimes. I think the next huge, massive, big shift will be when they stick a little plug in our head and wire us in so we don't need to look at the screen or stuff. I mean, yeah, Matrix-ish type interaction, really. It'll happen one day. I mean, they're already putting chips in people's heads, purely on an experimental level. Are they putting them in people's heads? They're certainly growing them, or they're experimenting with the interaction of, like, living cells and organisms with microchips. They're certainly putting interactive, like graphic camera receptors in people's eyes. They've got that to work. Is very, very iffy. I don't know. I think they have a problem. Is it with rejection? They have a problem with it anyway. It doesn't seem to last all that long, or something. I'm probably completely wrong. I read about it in New Scientist. Anyway, they are working on the whole biological, computery, interactive thing. And I think one day, yes, you will plug into your computer. That will be the next huge big shift. 16-bit warrior. Okay, did you go to university? No, I didn't. I'm quite bitter about that, actually. I reached the end of school, like 5th year, just done my O-levels, wanted to go back, do A-levels, and my dad said, you get a job or get out. So I didn't have a choice, really. It's a shame. I've tried since then going in as a mature student, but I had to go through a college access course, and I couldn't hack college because, like I said earlier, I just couldn't do the presentation, speaking in public, in front of people, even people, though I knew all the people, couldn't do it. It just, no. So I just thought, hell, I can't get through that. And there were other reasons as well. There was stuff in college that was pissing me off so hugely. Goalposts being moved mainly. Being told do this, doing exactly that, and then being told you've done it wrong. No, intolerable, couldn't stand it, so I left. so university just went out the window. I still am an hour about it. There are other routes in that I may attempt, but I kind of think, I don't know what I would want to do. Probably something in video. I mean, I thought photography, but now I think maybe video production would be good, but I don't know. But no, to answer your question, I didn't. What is my favourite gaming generation? 8, 16, 30? That's a good question. 8-bit, I think. Well, no, there's the thing. To play, if I'm retro gaming, because I do separate the retro gaming from just gaming. If I'm just gaming purely for fun and not for a nostalgia hit, then I'll play the modern stuff. I'll play PS3, and that would be my favourite. But if I'm playing for a nostalgia hit, and I can't explain how I differentiate, it is a different thing, it works on a different part of my brain, then 8-bit, absolutely. If I want retro stuff, completely 8-bit.